Hello everyone, welcome back to Glitz and Glitter. So you know Valentine's Day is over and I want a new tumbler for myself for just, the little break. I'm not Irish, so I'm not going to do a St. Patrick's Day one, and it's not quite Easter yet to do a springy one. So I saw this adorable vinyl download from FABRICA with donuts on it. So I downloaded that and I printed it on my vinyl. I'm going to make myself another 30-ounce tumbler. And then I was thinking, what can I do for the lid? Because I have specialty lids on all of mine. I bought these adorable little donut pieces off of Amazon. I don't even have them open yet. Let's take a look at them. Oh, I can rip it right there. So I'm going to put some of these on top of the lid. We'll just UV resin them down or whatever. I'm not sure how I'm going to stack them yet, but they went perfectly with this vinyl. So that's what I'm going to do with that. And then as I'm getting ready to do the tumbler, I got a package in the mail. This was compliments of Into Resin. That's the name of the company. So they have sent me a package of 15 colors. Well, actually, these are glitters. I'm going to be using one of them today. This is a holographic glitter powder called Spring Green. That's the color of it. So they have sent me 15 colors to try out on the video and kind of review it to my viewers. So that's what I'm going to do, because I'm going to do the top and the bottom here with glitter. So I figured, why not? They have a color that goes with one of the donuts. I'm going to use one of their glitters. Now when I opened it, see, I thought it was fine through and through, but it's not. It is a chunky, fine glitter mix. So I think there's a little bit of everything inside of there, so we'll see how that works. I'm thinking of doing the tack it method to lay it down, but I'm not quite sure how that's going to work. I'm going to try it. If it doesn't work out, I can wipe it off and just put it on as regular glitter. So before I get started, I always UV resin any indentations, so I did that to the bottom. I'm going to sand this down. I have not done that yet. And I also will be spray painting the areas where the glitter is going, because if the glitter doesn't fully cover, you will have the same color peeking through, so you really won't notice. And then while I'm out there spray painting, I'm going to use my Mod Podge mat. I'm going to seal this in. This has been printed for probably 6 weeks now. I'm just now getting around to it. So the ink is dry, it's been dry, but I still don't want to take any chances. So I'm going to Mod Podge matte clear acrylic sealer for that. And so once I get all that done and dry, then we'll come back and we'll do the tack it method for this new glitter. The spray paint is all dry, so we're ready to get the glitter on. Well, not really the glitter yet. We're going to put the glue on that's going to hold the glitter. So let me move that out of the way. I use tack it over and over. If you watch me, you know this by now. So it's time to start, you guys, if you haven't done it yet. So I water it down, 50% glue to 50% water. This is the brush that I use. You can use any brush that you want, but I just like these ones because they're nice and wide. And I'm going to paint the glue on. Then I will let it dry. I only put it on the top and the bottom because that's all you're going to see. Let it dry, do a second coat of glue, let it dry, and then we'll put the glitter on. If you have a tumbler curing machine, it sure helps dry that glue pretty quickly. So since I'm only doing one tumbler today, I can put my curing machine over it because it only fits 2 inside. So just get a nice even coat. You don't want any spots that are really thick. I'm going to cure it. I leave my brush in there just to keep it wet, just for a few minutes while it's drying. If you don't have a curing machine or any kind of heat source, it'll take about 20 minutes. That was so fast. So everything is dry. We're ready to add the glitter. I don't know what to expect with this chunky mix, but I think it'll be okay. I think I've done it before, but I can't remember. I've done so many tumblers. So what you're going to do is you take your glitter, and it works best with holographics, this actual. Otherwise, if you don't want to lay it down flat, you can throw a super, super tiny thin coat of resin on your tumbler and then put your glitter on and let it spin until it's dry. That's it. You don't have to do the tack it method if you don't want to. So just take your glitter of choice and sprinkle it all over your cup, over a piece of paper so you can catch it. Ooh, this is really pretty. Really pretty glitter they have. And there's 15 colors in that box, so I'm kind of excited. You know I love my glitter. I'm going to just get a good coverage, and I'll just pick it up and reuse it again once I get it on the bottom here. All right, so, oh, I had my paper upside down. It has a folded crease in it the way I buy them, and I'm just gonna set this down for a second. Hopefully I don't get glitter everywhere, so I can keep this glitter separate. Okay. All right, so just take your hand and you're just gonna rub your glitter in, that's all. Rub it down flat, the rest will fall off. Now we're not gonna see most of this. Like I said, the vinyl is going to be like covering most of it. So let's rub it down on the rim. It looks like it kept most of the fine and not too much of the chunky. So let me see if I want to keep it like this or do I want to cover it? That is the question. But if I cover it with chunky, it's going to be really hard to resin over. So I'm just going to go with it. We'll do the top. I wish more chunky would have was adhered to it, but I really can't help that because it's so fine. It just kind of grabbed a hold of the tack it glue before the chunky can. I'm just going to rub this in because I don't really mind using my glitter again. This one's going down pretty easy. Sometimes I really have to force it, but this one I'm not having to do that. All right, so there's the top. I think that looks cool. I mean, really, honestly, we're not going to see hardly any of it. So I think that'll be fine. So let me just clean up my mess, and then we're going to add some vinyl. So I have the vinyl ready. I have pre-cut it, and you just dry fit it onto your tumbler before you unpeel anything and make sure your seam is where you want it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab a square and a pen. If I could just find my pen. Got a Sharpie here. So what I'm going to do is just draw a line. I should probably use a pencil. I don't know if that Sharpie is going to come through. So you get a straight line on your cup. Excuse me, goodness. This is to help line up your vinyl, so your vinyl goes on straight. And again, you're going to want to dry fit it because sometimes I have drawn that line crooked as well, which I think I did it again. Yeah, I did it again. So I'm not going to use that line. Let's do this again, probably because I had it laying down. If I do it sitting up, it's not usually crooked. Let's try that one. Just make sure your line is right before you even begin. Okay, so that one's better. Then just unpeel just a small portion of your vinyl, not the whole thing, or you won't be able to control it. And I have gloves on, and it's very hard to start peeling vinyl with gloves on. There we go. I'm just gonna you can either fold it back or cut it off like an inch. I usually fold mine back. Then I'm gonna line it back up. This way you could pull it off if you need to get it re-secured or re-lined up, I should say. So I'm gonna watch the top and watch the bottom. I kind of want them about the same. And then I'm just gonna push it on, rewrap it before I pull it off. See how it's not straight here? So I need to redo it. So somehow my line is off again. That's much better. All right, so I'm just gonna start unrolling this vinyl on the cup. It's gonna come off automatically with your hand going slow. Of course, my hair is down today and it's getting in everything. So I just kind of rub the vinyl on. I just realized, you guys, I didn't put my first layer of resin on before the vinyl. Well, that's a first. So we're going to be learning a lesson today. Typically, I put a coat of resin on my cup to get that vinyl to stick to the resin and not to glitter. So try not to make that mistake. This is the first time I've ever not put resin on. I'm just so excited, I guess, to get my vinyl on here. So yeah, all right, so since I did not put resin on, and these parts are going to peel, so I'm gonna grab my urethane sealer. So I have this urethane sealer, and that holds down any vinyl pieces. Typically I do that later on when I put names and things, but I don't think I'm going to put names or anything on here. So put your sealer on any kind of seams that you might have. This one's almost empty. I have to go grab my other one. So I'm just going to rub it down the seams and along the edges, and we're going to let this dry. It doesn't take long. It's kind of like the glue. Typically I do this on the turner, but I'm kind of a little freaked out that I forgot to put resin on here, so. And nothing else is coming out. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna put this on the turner, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna seal this entire cup. Just because the resin will go on much more even. Now that I've already started something, I can't turn back. I don't wanna reprint my vinyl. All right, I'll meet you over there. All right, I'm just gonna put some more sealer on here, especially my bottoms and tops, and then I'll go over the whole thing. This is made by Counterculture DIY. It's the same as the resin that I use. I like their quick coat resin. This stuff is not toxic. This stuff is pretty good. And it dries fast. So again, I'm just going to kind of get it all over my entire cup. And it adheres to their resin really, really good. If you guys don't have a sealer, this one is really good. And they don't even know I exist, so they are not paying me to say that. I just like to pass on the information that I know because I have good luck with this. So some of my glitter did come off and go onto the vinyl, but that doesn't matter to me because I'm going to put glitter on it anyway. So if you don't want your glitter to get onto the vinyl, make sure you spray seal your glitter down before you start rubbing anything on there. All right, I'm just gonna throw my curing machine over it. Get that to dry really quickly. And then we'll start putting some resin on here. Don't let it hit the back of your machine either. The 30-ounce tumblers are kind of long. I have mixed up 25 milliliters of my Fast Set Counterculture DIY epoxy. And I have added a nice little scoop of my rainbow shimmer in there because I want everything to sparkle. So if you have a drip mat, put it underneath so it doesn't drip all over. And I was going to put washi tape on because I generally do that with my vinyl, but because I didn't do it in the right order, I'm going to do it in the right order. I'm going to do it after the fact. And you have to be quick with this particular epoxy. You don't have a lot of working time with it. So when you have it mixed, just get it right on your cup because it's going to set very quickly. And I'll get a couple of coats on here, especially with the curing machine on it. Since I only have one cup going, I can put the curing machine on, and I'll probably be putting the second coat on. Well, between coats, I will be putting my washi tape on. But probably within an hour, I could do that with this particular resin and with the curing machine on at the same time. This is going to go really, really fast. So just get a nice even coat and torch it or heat gun it, get all the bubbles out because there's definitely bubbles in there. And you're not going to need the 25. This is a 30-ounce tumbler. I still have a nice bit left. I probably only needed 18 to 20 milliliters for this. But y'all know I like to make extras for you guys, so I'm not too concerned about the extras. All right, I'm just gonna get my heat gun after I wipe my hands off. Pop all these bubbles. And I'm just gonna let it spin for a while. So between it being quick cure and the curing machine, this thing is ready for the next coat. But before we do that, now is the proper time to put any decals on or washi tape. And I picked silver. I have all these colors and I just couldn't decide, you know, which one would be the best because they're all so close to the decal. So the only thing I don't have in there is silver. So I'm just going to somehow find the end of it and get it. There we go. I'm going to go down the seam. I'm going to first cut the end off because I just ruined it. Start at the back and go along your seams. That looks pretty good with it since there's no silver in the cup. And this will stick to your resin. It would not have stuck to the glitter. There's no way. And then I am going to seal this down, I think. Or do I take a chance? I haven't taken a chance in a long time. I just don't trust washi tape. Just cut it with your craft knife on the seam. I'll do the top and the bottom and down the back. Decide if I'm going to take a chance and not seal it or do the seal. Same thing, urethane sealer to hold it down. I'll probably seal it in. I really don't want to have to do this twice. Feels like it's sticking pretty good though. That's why I'm questioning it. There we go. Can you see the sparkle in there? Probably not. It's got a nice little sparkle in there. I'll probably put another, in the next coat of resin, I'll probably put more of the rainbow shimmer in there just because I want it to sparkle a little more. All right, I'm going to seal this in. I just don't want to do it twice. My tumbler is over there with the last coat on it, so I'm excited. It's going to be cured here in a couple hours and that'll be done. But while I'm waiting, I need to do the lid, and I'm going to put all these little donuts on there. And it's a really simple thing, but I know a lot of you will ask, how did I do it? So I'm going to show you how I'm going to do it. So I just kind of want them randomly stacked on the lid. So the first layer of them, I'm going to use my UV resin. And I think I'm going to put the resin on the lid first, everywhere except the straw hole. I use a straw, so I do not put my lips on the resin itself. So if you're asking if it's food safe, I don't think so, but I don't drink out of my tumbler. I always use a straw, so I'm not too worried about that. So what I'm gonna do is so I have the dual-sided UV light. I'm just gonna set these in randomly on the first layer and kind of cure it from the bottom and the top. And there's a whole bunch of different ones, so I'm just gonna kind of pick and choose which ones I want. And then I will get it cured right away for this layer. Now make sure, a lot of you ask, why isn't your bottom portion of the light coming on? So I'll take this opportunity to show you why. So you see this here on the side? There are two tiny little metal pieces. And then on the bottom, there are two connector pieces. If those two are not in contact with each other on both sides of the light, you will not get that bottom light to come on. So now I just got them connected and both lights are now shining. So it's shining from the top and the bottom. So I'm just gonna slide that in for 2 minutes, get that cured, and then we're just gonna keep building from there. So while that's curing, what I'm gonna do for the second layer, because the light won't penetrate from beneath it, I'm taking 6 more donuts and I'm sticking them in this little cup. I'm going to pour my UV resin all over them and coat them. That way they will be coated on the top and the bottom. And I need a stick. I'm just gonna kind of put plenty of UV resin on there, away from the light, because I don't want it curing before I'm ready. So just make sure you have enough resin on there. This bottle's going low. I think I have another bottle though. This is my high viscosity. It's just not as runny as the normal one, so I do like to use that one a lot. Okay, so these are completely covered. Let's check this and see if it's done. So yeah, they are completely, that was 2 minutes under the machine. Now I'm just going to take these and I'm going to kind of stack them anywhere on your lid. I mean, you can do it whatever fashion you want. If you don't want to, you could use regular epoxy too. I'm just impatient, as you all know. And because I'm impatient, I use UV resin a lot. So I'm just kind of stacking my donuts on top of the cured ones in stages. I don't know if this last one will fit or not. Yeah. And we're going to just throw that back under the light for 2 minutes. And I think I'll put like 2 or 3 more on just to give it a little more height. I'm trying to get different ones. So I'm just going to do the same thing to these. Just get them coated. Like I said, you could do this with epoxy. I used to do it with regular epoxy all the time on all my lids until I realized, what am I doing? I can use UV resin. I have it and it'll be done. So those are coated. Now we're just gonna wait for that light to go out, stack some more on top. And then by the time that's done, this will be way done before the cup, and then I can get my final pictures. I'm so excited to use my cup. I have to put my Valentine's one away now, which you guys are seeing this probably a week later, so I'm already using this cup by the time you're watching. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, so they are stuck, you guys, completely and utterly stuck. So I'm just gonna take these last couple that I've coated and stack them again. And just put as many as you want on, doesn't matter. This is gonna be the cutest addition to the cup. I think that's good. That's high enough. Let me cure it and I'll show you a side view. There we go. So that was a total of 6 minutes for 2 minutes on each layer, 3 layers. And these are not going anywhere. If you don't trust it, I do trust it, but for your sake, I am just going to show you, if you don't trust it, drizzle a little more resin over them all. Kind of wipe it on in. Or if you want to add a little bit of glitter to them, which surprisingly, I don't think I'm going to. I'm just going to wipe it down with my hands so you don't see all the drizzle marks. This way they're extra stuck, which I wouldn't have normally done this. You don't have to do it, but I just want to show you. If you don't trust the resin, rub it all over. This way they're now all touching. 2 more minutes, so that's a total of 8 minutes to make that lid. You guys, this is nuts and it's so cute. So yeah, if you're making tumblers and you want specialty lids, I do this on all my lids. I put something on all my lids. Now the ones that are more involved that take like a week are like the whipped cream lids. Those do take a week, and only because you have to wait for that whipped cream, fake whipped cream, to dry thoroughly before you put any resin on. But I do all my sprinkles, all my cherries, all the kinds of additives. I did my Valentine's Day lid, which had a bunch of little hearts. I know I didn't show it. I did it the exact same way I'm doing this one. So 8 minutes, it's completely done, and you've got yourself a lid. And it's done. That was 2 minutes, and they are, of course, way adhered. So nothing, not sticky, nothing. Now if you get any resin on, like, which I don't see any, if you get any resin on your plastic portion, it'll scrape right off. It'll come right off. Little tiny piece there, but yeah, just scrape it off. And that lid is waiting now for its cup. Isn't that adorable? Now this one has a little bit of weight to it, but not that bad. So a little bit more on this light, because I know a lot of you have purchased it. This is my favorite one, only because, one, it's big and I can put it over a ring and both sides will cure at the same time. 2, it has this shelf. And this shelf, you could do jewelry both sides at the same time. You can do things, anything that's transparent you do both sides at the same time. But I know, I just want to show you, like, if these are not lined up, see those two little metal things and those two little pin pricks? I'm just going to put it off so it doesn't line up. So you turn it on and you'll see this side is lit. That side, it's just reflecting. It's not lit. If you change, so get a good look at the lit and the not lit. If you get them lined up properly, there it goes. So now they're both lit. That's how you use this one. So don't go, whoops, it looks like it's, sometimes it's finicky and I don't get them lined up perfectly. And you can tell, you'll be able to tell. Oh, it's this side this time. There it goes. So they have to be lined up in order to use the one plug for both of them. So this one is really big. Like I said, on my tumbler turner, when I'm doing rings, I'll stick the ring in the center and hold it over. So as the ring is turning, it's getting the constant UV light all around it for the whole time and not just the one light. So that's a little bit more on this. I know I never went really in depth on this light. I just told you it's my favorite, but that's why. And even when this is taken apart, this shelf will fit in either side. So there is a shelf portion lip for this one that it fits into. Or if you're only using this side, there is a shelf portion for this side too. So you can slide that in either way. So that's just a little blurb on my favorite light. So there's that. So now all I have to do is wait for the tumbler. I think I'll take it out in the sunshine and show you I put a ton of sparkle in it. And yeah, that's gonna be it. So let me get you the final pictures outside. I will show you how beautiful it is. Thank you guys for coming in and joining me today on another tumbler video. I hope I'm inspiring some of you who don't have the courage to do one. You guys should try it. And what I say is go to the dollar store, get yourself a plastic tumbler because it works on plastic. Do a Dollar Tree tumbler first. Do one or two of them. When you get the hang of it, it's easy. And then buy yourself the stainless steel tumblers. But anyway, thank you guys. I love you all. I will see you tomorrow. You guys have a blessed day. Stick around. Wait for the last scene. Bye.